Hello, everyone. Today we have Mr. Jaskaran Singh Saluja with us, who scored 86 on 90. Let's talk to him and see his experience about PTE. Jaskaran, tell us something about yourself.
Well, I've done Bachelor of Computer Science, and I'm now working in my own field, which is cybersecurity and network design, which I absolutely love it.
Wonderful.
Talking about PTE, I think my everyday job really helped me a lot because I write emails a lot in my job. So that really helped me not only in writing, but also like improve my skills with time.
So let's talk about your exam. Jaskaran, you gave your exam on 15th of December 2023, a PTE academic. And it was your first attempt. You scored listening 90, reading 81, speaking 90, writing 82, and overall 86 on 90, which is almost a perfect score. So our audience would like to know what was in the examination. Let's start with the speaking first. Yeah, please tell us something about the speaking.
So as you can see, like read aloud. So there were 6 to 7 read aloud questions, which is pretty much you get the text in front of you on the screen and you have to just read it. But you need to be careful about what mistakes do we generally make is we miss the S or we speak an extra S where it's not needed. So you need to be very peculiar about the S and the D's at the end and the punctuation marks, of course, and be fluent as you can be.
Right. There were a couple of questions which were experimental there. Like the discussion part was there and what would you do in a situation? So how did you attempt those?
Yeah, like at first that was a surprise to me. But having said that, we knew that it's going to be there. So as I said, just be fluent. They are there to mark you on your fluency and not your correctness. They don't need you to be correct. They need you to be fluent and with the correct English, of course, not the correct content, but the correct English.
So Jaskaran, did you find any difficulty due to disturbance there?
If you are focused, you would not let it hinder your attention at all. Because you are doing your exam, you're focused towards your questions. So you just forgot about anything.
Perfect. In your writing section, you had a summarized written text, which you said which is quite easy. And this was the essay. So let us talk about your essay.
So yeah, this essay was, I had to tell my opinion. I started with an introduction. As you can read, the topic is life experience. So you can obviously speak or write a lot about this topic. And I just gave my example, like I work in IT, so I've done a bachelor's degree in IT. So I've experienced this in my life that just having a bookish knowledge is not sufficient. You practice the thing daily, you gain experience, you spend time on it. So with time, you learn that experience, which really helps you, which really carves your personality, and you could see that output in your work.
So you talked about yourself.
Yeah, that's the example I gave. That's in my life experience, I saw this. So that's what I did. I've done there.
Brilliant. So let's talk about your next section. That is reading. So in reading, you had these 5 types of questions. So what is your advice to our audience about reading?
Read carefully, read with open eyes, read twice, comprehend the thing. Don't just go for, oh, okay, this is a straightforward answer. Don't do that. Read it twice. And little tip, just read the options first before you read the para. Go through the options, understand what the options you have in front of you, then you read the para. But just be mindful of the timer.
So how important is vocabulary and focus level?
It's very important. So don't stress upon good vocabulary. On the day of exam, do what you have. Don't do anything extra that you are not sure of, because you will make spelling mistakes or you will even make a typing error that will cut you marks. So don't do that. Stick to the vocabulary that you know, you are 100% certain of, and just stay focused, because if you're focused, you would pay 100% attention to the thing and you would comprehend things better.
Right. Yes. What was the biggest challenge?
Since I'm in IT, so I'm used to my keyboard. So I don't look at my keyboard and type. I just look at the screen and I type. But there, the keyboard was a little bit different. It didn't have the spaces with it. So I had to be mindful of that as well. So be mindful of the small things as well.
Perfect. So let's talk about your listening section. You had 8 question types, and the overall listening, what you say, was easy to moderate. So what are the things that the students should keep in mind when they're prepared for the listening section?
Just consider it as a telephonic conversation with your friend and try to be a part of the conversation where you're comprehending, like, what are they suggesting? You are not just making notes and just writing word to word what they're saying, but try to comprehend the stuff. Because if you will comprehend what they are saying, it will help you better to write it in your own words, and you will include that keywords as well.
Great. Absolutely great advice. That's a wonderful advice, actually. Okay. So if I talk about the overall level of the examination, it doesn't sound to be a very easy examination. It's ranging between easy to moderate. Am I right?
Yeah, one could say so.
Right. So last minute advice to all our audience who are preparing for the examination.
Just don't stress, stay focused, and be mindful of the small errors that we make.
Thank you so much, Jaskaran. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.